Welcome in to Coach's Clips, where each week we take you from the stands into the film room and break down a play from the Bearcats' previous game. I'm Tommy Warhurst alongside Cullman head coach Trent Walker. Big night on senior night. All three phases of the game played well. What you got for us?
Yeah, it's hard to pick some clips today. We want to go back to kind of diving into the scheme that led to success on both sides of the ball. Got defensive play and offensive play that our guys executed really well and led to our success on Friday night.
Let's break it down.
Let's get to it. All night we were playing a lot of off coverage with our corners. We haven't played a lot of press with our corners this year as we get into our defensive schemes. But right here, 3rd and 12, had a feeling they had seen us off for a while. Scouting report said that this receiver right here was the guy they wanted to isolate with the ball. So you're going to see a great change up here by our defensive staff, Coach Hopper, our defensive coordinator, and Coach Peyton Calvert, our secondary coach. The coordinator goes in his offensive coordinator goes in his play thinking he's got an off corner. He's going to run a screen to the single receiver. You're going to see Chance Hauser creeping up here late. The coverage we're playing here puts a corner close to the receiver and a safety in a deep half. And this concept to the side. So now the quarterback thinks he's throwing back to an open wide receiver, and you see Chance is right in his hip pocket. He does a great job. We talk about chase the wake right here, kind of like if you're riding jet skis, riding the wake of a boat. Right, if you get right behind him, it's the cleanest path through the blocker. The offensive lineman's thinking he's going to get a big hit on a defensive back. He's getting his chops ready. Chance does a good job, right, riding the wake right there, getting behind the receiver, and now he's in his hip pocket. If you go back to the backfield here, all right, so again, the quarterback's trying to show us a kind of a sprint out look, and he goes to throw, and it's not there. And now because that option's not there, our defensive line, Max Dowell, is able to get a sack. So 3rd and 12. Offense thinks they have a certain look they're going to go to. The defensive scheme chosen here by our coaches allows us to get a sack. We're off the field. Now they got to punt the ball to our offense. I want to get into some offensive schematic success we had Friday night. We're going to trade our tight end and wing here. Again, just to keep the surfaces of our attack as hidden as long as possible. Decatur's going to walk some backers up here and actually bring pressure. For us, we're going to run a wide zone play to this side, so we like to see backside pressure against that. Oftentimes, front side pressure can cause problems, but when it's on the backside, usually feel like you can get if you get it cut off, you can get your play going. And sometimes when defensive risk blitzing people and losing some guys to certain places are not as balanced of a defensive formation, if you can get the blocks on, big plays can happen. So you're going to see here as one of those things happens. We'll start all the way in with Cole. We'll start with the quarterback here. Just his intentionalness right here to have a great track for the running back. And then, again, the eyes. If you watch Peyton Manning play and some of the great quarterbacks in their play action, they give the eyes back and the hand back every time so that when they do keep the ball, it looks the same every time. All right, so he's honoring his fake and also peeling out here. So, that allows our coaches in the box to see what are these guys doing if they ever want to pull the ball and bootleg out. All right, stepping up to our wing here. This is freshman John Luke Witcher. He's working a double team right here with Brooks Lofton. You can just see the physicalness of what they're doing. They're getting their movement. Their man ends up outside the hash on their double team. All right, so again, they double team this guy right here and get him pushed all the way horizontally. You're also going to see the combo block, or Whit Waters getting his block pushed by. So we're creating the horizontal attack. These two guys are going to end up moving him. Whit Waters is going to move this guy. Next, we'll move back here to this backside. Easton Swafford's got this guy who's shaded over the guard. He's actually going to use his athleticism. He's a basketball player for Cullman as well. So you're going to see his physicality, but also his athleticism that shows up on a basketball court show up here as he's able to get this guy not quite cut off, but cut off enough for our play. His helmet's across his head, and he's just what we call running him. That means he can't get penetration. He can't stop the play because their goal for this pressure is to run this down from the backside. So Easton's intentional effort here to cut this guy off allows this play to stay on track. Working right here to our right guard, Rhett Tysinger. Again, his idea is he's got to block would be the A-gap defender. This guy crosses face, which is kind of a tough deal, so he ends up climbing up. The main thing, he's on somebody and stays attached on his block the whole time. Wyatt Tilkin, his ability, the growth he's shown to capture guys. This is a wide shade right here, and his footwork, he ends up getting that pinned to give our play a chance. And the block that I want to talk about right here is Landon Hall, our left guard. All right, again, he's taught he's got to think, he's got to block this big gap defender, but nobody shows. So just the savviness by Coach Boatwright, our offensive line coach, the way he teaches these guys to understand. All right, when nobody shows there, the big gap defender is the middle field safety. So if you run this back, This player is really responsible middle of the field, but he also knows how much success we've had in the run game. So he's playing really shallow and wants to add himself. Well, now our offensive line accounts for that player. Landon gets on that guy, makes contact, and now the rest is Weston Keel. I want to point out our stop blocks here by both Nelson Hollingsworth and Colby Holt. These guys, again, are sealing their blocks. All right, Nelson's occupying his guy just enough, and now Weston Keel does the rest. So we're going to follow Weston Keel down the field. But what's neat to me, after he runs this all the way down, it's an 89-yard touchdown run. Watch the jersey start to flood in up here at the top of your screen. All right, these are linemen now, 89 yards downfield, running in to have celebrate the success of their teammate. All right, we just showed how we had success on outside zone. I want to show you how plays we use complement each other. That's what I call constraint plays. If a defense gets too aggressive against a certain part of our attack and the game plan offensively, we have to have plays that keep them honest. We call those constraint plays in our game plan. So you're going to see here another trade by our tight end wing. So if you've played the narrative of the game, every time we trade tight end wing, what have we shown you? We've shown you wide zone to that side. We've moved the surface. Now everything Decatur's seen is that we want to run wide zone. So what you're going to see here, is us show them the start of wide zone. All right, same exact fake, eyes, hands by Colt Culver. All right, what do you see in return? You're going to see fast pursuit and flow by the Decatur defense. I'm going to run that back. So we can focus on the Decatur defense here. All right, they believe they're getting the ball handed off on wide zone. Well, when that happens, a couple things are set up for us now. All right, as you see this linebacker right here take those steps, that's now going to allow us to capture him on the screen. You see Landon Hall release from his right guard position. He shows wide zone initially, and he's going to come in here and capture this defender. He's got that defender sealed. We're going to let Whit Waters run us back. Whit Waters is going to show wide zone to the right, and then he's now going to release out here for this defender over the top of Colby Holt. Our center, Wyatt Tilkin, is going to show wide zone, and he's going to release into this alley right here. So you're going to see this triangle made by our offensive lineman. Again, it happens at a different time, but ultimately the triangle is this, and ultimately we're getting up here. Nelson Hollingsworth on the far side out here, run his back. He's doing a good job being intentional, run his guy off, and then settles down and blocks his man. So we have a ton of blocking at the correct spots with the correct guys, and now we let our athlete do what he does in space, which Colby Holt does a good job here getting explosive plays. Ends up going for 46 yards. He almost scores there. They make a touchdown save and tackle. We'll go back to the ball. All right, look where the ball placement is here by Colt Culver. Again, he works the handoff, sets his feet, throws a strike. Because the ball's caught on the upfield shoulder in time, it allows us to hit. Screens are all about timing. And this throw, plus the lineman arrival, allows all the timing to be right. And now it's just let our guy make a play. He about just gets through here, makes a stiff arm, and tackle down inside the 10. We go on to score there. So just want to show how the scheme of running wide zone and being effective in wide zone sets up constraint plays. When the defense over pursues, we have to have those options. And our offensive staff, Coach Luke Hackbarth, our offensive coordinator, has really set up all these plays for us. I'm proud of where we are week 9.
Hopefully this week, Coach, we can put together all 3 phases again and get a win against Buckhorn Friday night, the final game of the regular season at Buckhorn in Newmarket this Friday night. For Coach Trent Walker, I'm Tommy Warhurst. Thanks for watching Coach's Clips.
Go Bearcats.